Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and we have somewhat of a little bit of breaking news here to discuss on the channel around Abdul Carter, why he was suspended for the first possession of the game yesterday, and then we have Abdul Carter's side of the story as well. A lot to unpack, but this is why you subscribe to the channel, because no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, when there are things to talk about with the New York Football Giants, we're going to get you guys a video as soon as possible. So if you want free videos, multiple free videos every day, hit that sub button, and please help us get to 100,000 subscribers. We are less than 2,500 away. All right, Abdul Carter was suspended for the first drive of the game in the loss yesterday to the Green Bay Packers. And Mike Kafka, after the game, said we're going to keep that in-house. Then Abdul Carter was asked about it, and he said that my actions have repercussions, and this is what it is. Dan Duggan, shout out to him of The Athletic. Go give him a follow on Twitter. Go subscribe to him and The Athletic to read his awesome work on this team. Dan wrote, New York Giants rookie linebacker Abdul Carter was benched for the opening series on Sunday's loss because he missed a walkthrough leading up to the game, according to team sources. Carter, according to sources, was asleep in the team facility at the time of the walkthrough. A lot more coming from Dan, so stick around. My first thought is this. Why did his teammates not wake him up? And why did a coaching staff member not wake him up to get out there for a walkthrough? That seemed a little bit weird to me. Look, it is Abdul Carter's fault. No doubt about it. He's a grown-ass man. He's an NFL player. He's a professional. He should know when walkthroughs are, and he should not sleep through them. Also, Duggan added to his article saying Carter refuted this report on his social media, saying he was undergoing recovery, not sleeping. Quote, was not sleep, actually doing recovery. Nonetheless, that's on me. So that's Abdul's side of it, and we'll go to Abdul a little bit more. But I want to go back to what Duggan said, where he said, being late to meetings has been a trend during Carter's rookie season that former coach Brian Daboll let slide, a source said. Interim coach Mike Kafka disciplined Carter for the violation in his first week on the job. Carter then said, I made a mistake during the week that was detrimental to the team. That was the consequence, so I had to live with it. Being late to meetings has been a trend during Carter's rookie season that former head coach Brian Daboll let slide. So whether he was asleep, wasn't asleep, was getting treatment done on his body, was going through some recovery, whatever it is clearly not the first time that Abdul Carter has been late to some sort of team activity, whether that is a practice, whether that is a walkthrough, whatever it is. The New York Giants have probably been dealing with this for the past couple of weeks. I'm not exactly sure, but it sounds like this is not a one-off situation. Ryan Dunleavy of the New York Post also adding, Carter has made a habit of running late to team functions, including meetings as a rookie, a second source told the New York Post. So there is that. And to give you exactly what Abdul Carter said, he went on to say, when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. And he replied to Dan Duggan's article saying was not asleep, actually doing recovery. Nonetheless, that's on me. So look, there's always two sides to a story. Who's right, who's wrong? I don't really care at this point. All I care about is that it sounds like this is not a one-time thing. It sounds like this has been happening throughout the season. And to be honest with you, as someone who has been in Abdul Carter's corner, defending his play, even though the counting stats and the sacks aren't stacking up, this pisses me off. And this is unacceptable and flat out unprofessional for Abdul Carter. Look, everyone sleeps in. Everyone misses a meeting. Everyone is late to a meeting. But not everyone makes a habit out of being late to team functions. And I think that's part of the reason Brian Daboll was fired, a long list of reasons there. But there was never any accountability for any player on the New York Giants when they didn't do the right thing. They got to go out there and do whatever. And look, is suspending Abdul Carter for the first drive of the game really sending a message? No, I don't really think it is. Look at the Bills yesterday. Keon Coleman, he missed a meeting or a walkthrough or a practice, and he was suspended the entire game. Now, is Mike Kafka going to suspend Abdul Carter the entire game when he's trying to win games to get that interim head coaching title removed and become the head coach when Kayvon Thibodeau was already out due to injury? Probably not. So I applaud Mike Kafka for holding people accountable, but this is something that is extremely frustrating for me for Abdul. It's one thing to not live up to the hype as a rookie. It's okay to not be a finished product your first year in the NFL. But when you are unproductive and have not met the hype that you set for yourself, to be honest, asking for Lawrence Taylor's number, and then you're being detrimental to the team by being late to practices multiple times and, quote, making a habit out of it, that is a problem. You're the number 3 overall pick. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to have a major hand in turning the New York Giants around from the worst team in the NFL in the last 10 years. And right now, respectfully, it sounds like you're pouring gasoline on the dumpster fire that is the New York Giants. I mean, come on, man. That's unacceptable. I tweeted it out. The New York Giants need to draft players going forward that hate losing more than they love winning, and people that can change a culture. They did that with Jackson Dart. They've done that with Cam Scatterbo. They need to do it again in the 2026 draft, and they need to sign winners in free agency because it's hard to win when you don't have anybody on your team that has one. And the New York Giants are full of people that have not won at the highest level. So I'm very disappointed in Abdul Carter. Look, I'm not going to go into a deep video today about his production or lack thereof production. Look, he is top 25 in the NFL in total pressures. He's had 2.5 sacks taken away because of flags or whatever it may be, and he's had a handful of other quarterback hits that have forced incompletions on third down, or he's got holding calls called on the offensive line trying to protect him. I understand you want sacks, but there's a lot more to the game as an edge rusher to quantify how impactful you are outside of just the raw stats and sacks. But over the last 4 weeks, I don't think Abdul Carter has played good football, and now it sounds like he's not being a good teammate. I'm not selling my Abdul Carter stock. I'm actually buying the dip. But man, this is frustrating. This is upsetting. And I'm pissed off, to be honest. I'm pissed off at the situation more so than I am with Abdul Carter because I'm tired of the losing. I'm tired of the losing habits, and I'm tired of the losing culture. You know what a losing culture allows? Your number 3 overall pick to not be held accountable for being late to meetings, sleeping through meetings, being at the training table through meetings. I don't care. Be at practice, be at meetings, be at walkthroughs. Turn it around. This team is a joke. Come on, Abdul. You're better than that. We're all rooting for you. But sooner rather than later, you got to start pulling your weight as a player, but more importantly, as a leader. Number 3 overall pick. Do your job. Do your job. So appreciate you guys coming to my TED Talk as I'm pissed off about this, but I had to get it off my chest, and I wanted to get you guys the latest news and information. Abdul Carter refutes the reports he was asleep, says that he was getting work done on his body. Gold jacket, green jacket, I don't give a shit. Win some football games, turn the culture around, and be at practice and be on time. We'll see you later.